Hey guys, Alfredo here with Alfredo's Auto Glass, and today I'm going to be working on a 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia, and I'm going to get started. So I prepped the car, as you guys can see. Fender covers are there, and dash cover, and seat covers. Very important. And we're going to start working here on the inside here. So it's raining outside, so I had to have everything closed. So hopefully there's enough light in here. So I'm gonna get started by removing the wipers. I already checked everything and see how the glass is set up in there. So now I'm gonna get started. So I'm gonna start by removing the windshield wipers, and it looks like it has a 17 millimeter. Gotta be very careful always not to drop anything in there. Just be very careful. Check the positioning of the windshield wipers. When you haven't done one car before, check for that. This one does have a washer, lock washer, so be careful not to drop it. Sometimes it helps if you get a little magnet and take it off. When you've never done these newer cars, for some reason the material they're using to put the wipers on for the mechanism is very fragile, so I would highly recommend you going very easy when you're removing it, just so that you don't break it. Alright, so I can see there's some clips right here, and let me get some light in here. As you can see, the clip, okay, I've seen this clip before, and the part that comes up is the middle part, like that. So this is how this clip works. I know it looks like it's all one head, but no, it's actually a two-piece clip. And just be careful when you're removing it. There's another one hidden right here. This is how you trailblaze, you know, just take your time when you've never done a vehicle before. This one, I don't have a whole lot of space for that one, so this is one of those times where this angle tack puller comes in handy. Okay, there's one more over here. I don't know how that side molding comes off, but going to explore and figure it out. So when I do that, I use a bone and just go from the, see right here's a little bit loose, so I'll start there. Oh, here you go, bingo. There's a clip right there holding it. Gotta be careful, that clip looks like it might come off. See, actually this one did come off, so I want to make sure that that clip doesn't fall into the fender. See, these little details could save you a headache, so just be careful. And there's a direction, so keep an eye, see which direction it goes. There's one side and then there's the other side, so that's why it's always very helpful to explore when you've never done one before. So I think that's enough for all these clips right here. Let's take a look. This is good. Oh, there's one more right there. Every clip counts, so just take your time. There it is. And if you feel some resistance sometimes, just keep an eye and see why, and don't just force things. This is a little technique that I use. I like to use a plastic stick right here down in the bottom, because sometimes if you're working on an older vehicle that has this type of setting, you might break that little tab that comes with the cowling, so just be very careful. Alright, so let's move on to this side. Okay. Seems like today this tool is helpful. So if you don't have one, find yourself one. It's, as you can see, you might not use it often, but when you do use it, very helpful. So today the choice of tool to remove it is going to be fiber line. As you can see, there is another side of molding, so, and it is an aluminum body from what I understand. So to avoid any scratches to the vehicle, I'm going to use a fiber line. I feel some resistance, as you can see, and there's another clip right here. So I just want to thank everyone that takes the time to watch my videos and put any comments. I'm very grateful and thankful for you guys taking your time and your comments, and I do this from my heart. I just really happy to share the little that I know in our industry. Okay, so there is still a little bit of resistance here somewhere. So instead of just forcing it up, let's keep on exploring and see why that could be. Feels like somewhere here. Oh, here you go. So here's one more clip. And that clip wasn't on the other side, so that tells you something. That's why it's very important to check. All right, so it looks like the cowling is off and this hose is attached to it, so remove that. There's another hose over there. And I assume that, yes, same situation. There's a clip over here. right, so there it is. The cowling is off. Okay, so there's a few things here that are similar to a Chrysler. I just noticed the little tabs right there. The setting blocks right here. It's like a Chrysler setting blocks right there. Okay, so right now that I'm just looking to see if there's any spots where my fiber line could get caught. Because I'm going to be using fiber line. So it looks like we're good. Alright, so can you put a zip knife with a coated back end? Yes, that's doable. And or what else could it be used? Maybe the ambush. It's very close here, so you would have to be super careful, but I'm not going to be using those tools. Like I said, I'm going to use a fiber line to cut it out. So let's go on the inside. Let's take off the inside off. So I did go on the inside, on the bracket, and I noticed that there are these little tabs holding this plastic cover. So, oops, that came off really fast. So yeah, it goes into here. And now let's get the mirror out of the way. Sometimes this is from the bracket that I see, this is the ones that you turn. So get some leverage and turn away. Okay, the antenna. No, there's no antenna, it's just a rain sensor. See, when you have these cables, just remember how they go, because it's very helpful and it saves you space, and then sometimes the covers won't go in correctly if you don't have it in the same spot. Okay. Okay, so okay, these ones are very tricky. At times you have to bend this little piece of metal that's holding it in place. So let me go get a little pick tool, and then the rain sensor, same thing. Let me go get something. Alright, so on this bracket for the sensor, you go on the back, on the side, get this out of my way, and just apply open. I'm gonna do it over here, apply open, and then this sensors, I like to just pull it down super slow. Don't force it. This is really all about patience. Alright, so I will definitely have to apply new gel. And now this one, this is the one that it could be tricky at times. So I'm not going to reuse the bracket. So if you break it, the plastic, it really doesn't matter. But if you're trying to save it, then of course it matters. So right now I'm applying towards the plastic. So if anything breaks, it will be the plastic. And guys, please, safety glasses. It's very important. Okay. All right, so this is all out. And now I'm going to be using my Raptor. I'm very thankful, and I guess this is a good time. I want to give a shout out to all these amazing companies in our industry, you know, that they help us one way or another. Like Equalizer, you know, they help us so much with our tools. You know, we're as good as our tools, so we have good tools to work with. Of course, it becomes really helpful for us to accomplish the job. So right here I'm going soft, because obviously I don't want it go through and hit the middle. So I'm just taking my time. Literally going 1 inch at a time. Yeah, no, not 1 inch, 1/8 at a time. All right, so that's out. So this urethane is really stiff. So I just felt it right now going through. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I pretty much give it 6 turns. That should give me more than enough space to wrap it around the car. So these corners are very important because you see, guys, all kinds of different tools here. So I wanted to give a shout out to Equalizer, WRD, Glasspot, Rolodeck, the Glasswell, who else? So Precision Moldings, Marcy, man, all these wonderful companies. Who am I missing? You know, that they help our industry, you know. Aegis with the setting tools, Little Buddy, my friends from let's see, Power Push, amazing glue guns, and of course, yes, my son's just like Dow, of course, Dow. They help us with their urethane, amazing urethane, and Sika, just everyone that makes our jobs so much easier. You know, yes, ProSets, you know, that's another very popular setting tool nowadays as well. Very helpful. So anything that helps us make our job easier, and of course that they have a great attitude. You know, it really matters. Have a humble attitude. I like to work with people that, you know, they're in this business from their heart. I guess it's very important. That's how I am. So thank you to all those companies and for their support and for their tools. All right, so as you can see, I have my tool set up for me to cut from the driver's side towards the passenger side. So that's the reason why the fiber line is on top. If it would be on the bottom, I would be pulling against the fiber line. You don't want to do that. So go on the other side, son. So here we go. So always one hand push the fiber line. Oh my goodness, I feel a lot of resistance. Put the fiber line towards the glass. That way you leave a little bit more urethane on the body and it's easier to trim down. You guys could hear all that noise. That means there's definitely a lot of resistance. So could I have used a what's it called, a cold knife? Yeah, more likely. Would have hurt my shoulders, would have hurt my wrist. So, you know, you put it on a scale and, you know, I value my, I want to keep doing this for a few more years before, and I don't want to get hurt. Okay, so this side is done. You guys see these cracks? Those are stress cracks. See, now I'm using different tools. I'm using this from my orange, from the bat, the cover, but I'm using my Raptor to cut it out. On some of these cutouts, of course, I know it's going to be a high modulus application and it's going to be really tough to cut out, so that's the reason I'm utilizing the suction of this vacuum from the Raptor. So that's the reason why we have a lot of different tools. Not one tool does it all. Okay, we're good right here. I'm about to hit my 0 angle, so I'm gonna go to the other side now. Hold it for a little bit before, as soon as it starts vacuuming, just hold it for a second or two. Otherwise it could fall and hit something. So just an advice. Wow, I'm really happy to choose this method to cut out. So guys, I came up with some tool. It's a hybrid from two different tools. I made it, so let me go grab it and show it to you guys. So I customized this suction cup, and what's going to do for me is going to help me get on the tight spots. Like this little tight spot, it's hard to get way down there with any tool that you can only go so far down. So right now I'm using this tool to hold the fiber line right there in the corner. Now as you can see, it's pulling from down there, so instead of having the tool down there, I don't know if you guys could see what's happening, but it's really making a difference on my cutout. You never want to cut lines, so I don't need this one anymore. Could I probably use it again? Yes. So that I go all the way down there, I could probably use it once again to go as low as possible. And this is just to finalize this cut right here on the bottom. Remember, this is a high modulus application, really stiff urethane. There it is. So I'm gonna go check on my VIN number. It's good. Alright, I'm about to get to that 0 angle. Let me go on the other side. Oh, even if it's you have a crack on the glass, having this Raptor, the vacuuming, it will still work. Okay, cover the dash. If at any point, guys, you feel resistance cutting the bottom, stop immediately and go outside and check. Make sure you're not cutting into the pinch well, because that mistake happens very often. So not as often as it should, and it shouldn't happen, I mean. And that's it. Cutout's complete. And as you can see, I didn't see a red line, so that's why I pulled it out with it. But anyways, guys, so that's the cutout. Let's go see underneath here. So as you can see, from the very beginning over there, I had the fiber line very close to the glass, what that does, it leaves a little bit more urethane behind. And that's very helpful when you're trimming down. So, highly recommend that. So when you start, as soon as you start, push it up. Alright, so same thing as always. I clean before I start trimming down. If you guys notice here, there was an air leak. It didn't go through, but the actual foam here, padding the dam, actually prevented it from whistling. But as you can see, it looks like it melted down, maybe from the heat from the engine. It started melting it down. So I'm gonna make sure that that doesn't happen right now. And that happened more likely either because it was applied to the glass, or that's where the seams were, and the seams weren't done properly. You damn robots. All right. If you see a little bit of dirt, I see a little bit of dirt right there in the corner. Blow it off to the side. All right, so now it's ready to be trimmed down. Okay, put this away. So if you still don't have one, please get one. They are so helpful, so useful. I highly recommend getting one. And keep them sharp. You can see it cuts out really nice and smooth when they are sharp. If you guys notice, I'm holding it from here. In case it were to slip, it doesn't go anywhere because this hand's holding it against the headliner. And right here, I'm pushing inwards, as you can see. So in case I were to slip, I'm not going to create any damage to the body. I'll just fly into the interior. Your goal is not to create any damage at all. But I think it's easier to replace a pillar, if worst case scenario, than painting the car. And I wanted to mention to all my subscribers, all my followers, I created a Facebook group. It's called Auto Glass Techniques. You know what? It's new, so let me look it up right now. But it's tips for ethical auto glass technicians with ethics. There you go. Me and my wife were, and a few friends were messing around with the name of the group. So we had a few different names. So I'll figure it out right now before the end of the video, and I'll let you guys know. If you guys are interested on that group, you could ask for a request and be a part of it. We have a few experienced technicians in that group. Many years, they're more like mentors to us, and they have good advice. If you guys have a question or technique, you guys want to share it, please join the group. This is good for our industry to help each other, because you know, I might be doing this car today and help you see what you're getting yourself into, and then you might be working another car and help me know what I'm getting myself into. I always have control of this blade, that in case it slips, you know where that blade is going to end. I always keep that in mind, because when I'm training people, that does happen often, where they slip, and I only let them use it down here on the bottom, where if they slip, they won't be creating any damage to the vehicle. And I also want to give a shout out to a few of the people that came a long way here to my shop to train them. I guess the farthest one, it's Chris from Bangkok. He is a CEO of a auto glass company in Bangkok, and he saw what his technicians, you know, they didn't have a lot of knowledge on auto glass, and they were having a few trouble with comebacks, and he went online on Google, on YouTube, and found me, and he really enjoyed the knowledge that I share, and he came and trained over here for 2 weeks at my shop, and he took a lot of experience back. And he's been very successful now with his auto glass company in Bangkok, Thailand, all the way from Thailand. I just noticed I left a little yurt thing right in this corner, right here. All right. This is very helpful here. Protect the vents, and you can put tools on there. Alright, so it's time to primer the body and the glass. So I'm going to just check on the glass over here. And see where the primer goes. So you can see right here, it goes up quite a bit. So first I'm going to go all throughout the bottom. Right here. By the way, I already decontaminated the glass. It's nicely clean and prepped. Then right here, I'm gonna go, what is it, about, you know what, it's all over the place on that bottom. It's really hard. I would never apply the urethane on the glass on this kind of car myself. That's just my own. It just wouldn't make sense for me to do that, because if I miss, I'm gonna have a problem. I honestly don't like to have comebacks. Been very blessed not to have comebacks, so. But as you can see, I work hard for that. I take my time and take the extra steps. Jaime told me to be careful if I do this. just be careful because it could break and drip. Right here, since there was no bonding right there. You don't want it to over prime. Only where it needs it. That's it. So I gotta give them like 2 minutes. So I like to count down. So 257, 259. That's perfect right there. No more. That's it. And I am using Express 30. I love this urethane. It's so easy to paddle, so easy to apply, and when you set the glass, it just sets it decks perfectly. Really happy with it. So if you guys haven't tried that Express 30, highly recommend it. Okay, while I wait for my 2 minutes, I'm gonna share a tip with you guys. Frit marker, Frit paint marker. This is awesome. So if you ever have a little spot where the urethane, where the Frit line is missing, you put this, and it actually, it's a ceramic paint, so it actually covers the black, and you're able to hide that. If you're missing a little part of the Frit line, you could make this. But another amazing thing that I do with this, so let me show you in the glass over here. So a lot of these windows have the glass exposed, and not on this one. This is factory. The one I'm using is aftermarket. But you could see the light shine through the edge of the glass. So what I do, I go with this Frit maker, go like this, and that blocks the edge out, and it adds ceramic paint to it, and it looks amazing. Looks really nice, and since it's ceramic, it'll last a long time. So highly recommend it. 59, we're good. I'm covering my watch for those that have put a comment about my watch. I love having a watch, and it's protected with my shirt. All right, so let's move on to applying the urethane now. This one's, I'm gonna push it inwards. Right there, it's good. See, once again, I can use it to place little things there. 90-degree angle. I like to clean my tip when I start. It gives me a fresh start on the other side when I come and meet it with the other side. Right here, guys, just, you always want to see the front and the back where you're applying the urethane. So position yourself in a way are you able to do that. And if you notice, I'm using my thumb on my hand right here, turn it into it. I'm using my thumb to press the trigger on the gun. Paddling, very important. Like I always say, paddling could save you an air leak. So the inside going up, make sure you start on the bottom. You don't have any bubbles or air trapped inside. you wouldn't even tell that there was a seam right there. Once again, I want to start clean, just like that. So when I overlap on the other bit of urethane right here, it's a seamless seam. Wait for the urethane to come out and then pull away. See, if you take your little some time when making your seams, then you don't have to go crazy paddling. It becomes really easy to paddle. Right here, I like to make a little stop, reposition my body, don't pull away. Okay, so now it's really easy to paddle when you start your bead like that. You just don't want to have any valleys in the middle, because that's what could potentially cause an air leak. Okay. Now I'm going to set the camera here on this side because I want my son to help me set this glass. So let me see where I could have a good spot. I think right there you guys can see us sitting in the glass. Sometimes it's easier to remove the little plastic that it keeps this in shape. You remove it completely, right? That way you don't deal with tools inside on the car. Side, your more intentional body. So as you can see, that fit marker that I was talking to you about, it looks really nice. These are the jet packs. These ones also have a self-vacuuming. Very heavy duty. I like to use them especially on big rigs because it's very heavy. Everything's square away. My lines of the primer, of the molding, everything's nicely aligned. Right here is on top of the stop, so that's the reason why we're not using any tape. Remember, you have that dam on the bottom, and you have this molding, so even if you press too down hard, far down, it's gonna come back up. So better for you to deck it correctly so that you have a good bond in the urethane on the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab my gel for the rain sensor. I'll be right back. Alright, come over here, guys. So, this is my favorite one so far, Quick Cure 12. It is very, very useful. I like the way how it hardens, it cures really fast. And you could buy them also separately. Just making sure that everything works inside. It could get messy, so be careful. I'm not going to push it in until I have the sensor ready. Since we didn't touch the sensors clean, and my table right here is level, but even though it's level, so this is my technique, okay? I want to start in the middle. Start filling in, because remember it creates like a belly so that it touches the glass correctly. So if you start on the edges, you're not going to get the same effect of that belly in the middle. So right now, as you can see, it's tilting towards my left. So now that I have it all covered, I'm just going to keep doing this in the center. Applying a little bit at a time. And I'm looking for that belly in the middle. I'm not pressing on my syringe anymore. Now I'm going to go down here and see if I see that belly. It's important to see that belly, and with my thumb I'm raising it up from this other side because it was sliding that way. So right here, before it hardens all together, I'm going to add a little bit more right there in the center. And as soon as I start seeing that belly come out from the plastic and on the edges, then I know I'm good. But since I started little by little, slowly, it's already curing so that I'm not spilling the gel on the sides. And this usually takes about 1 minute, I would say. You could look at a level, and as soon as you start moving and it doesn't move anywhere, that's a good sign. That means it's cured. So I'll leave that alone. This could get messy, guys, so be careful. If you're doing it mobile, make sure that you're not in the air where all kinds of debris and they're going to get your rain sensor dirty. Alright, so I'm going to let that harden, and then I'll change my gloves and work on the inside. But for now, let's put the gallon back in. I'm gonna get my light. So let's put this back in here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So when you start, right now, I have the cowling is very soft, so I have a good chance of it without applying any glass cleaner here. So the way I center it, I go in the center of the windshield wiper post, and now that I'm centered, now I start pushing it into the glass. So I'm centered right there. Yeah, see, I knew this one is very soft. And this one actually had a guide right there. There's a little white line, see-through, from the fret line, telling you where the center is. So as you can see, just following my technique of the windshield wipers post, it led me to being right in the money. Right in the center, I should say. There you go. Alright, so everything there. Let me get all my clips. Got it? So when you have cowlings like this, you might want to put the ones on the very edge first. So I'm putting this one, and I'm going to go on the other side. Sometimes you end up, not on this one, but on some of them, you'll come on this side and you started over there towards the middle. Now you come on this side and it's really hard to pull it if you needed to pull it this way. So by doing this, you're already pulling the cowling towards you. So now it's going to be easier to put the rest of the clips. This one goes with the little fender cover corner right there. One, two. Okay, so there's two more right there, one more right here, but I think I have to put that cover first. This is what makes it fun in our job. We have to remember. And in some of my comments, I see comments being posted as, oh, this guy really loves his job, and yes, I really do. I'm very blessed to have this career and do auto glass, and that I get to do this every day, Monday through Friday, and some Saturdays too. Okay, as you can see, everything's fitting nicely. Sometimes pull out the upper part so that the clip goes nice and easy. And there's nothing better than just taking your time, guys. That's it. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. And I truly believe that in my installations. As my rule, I always keep the right side on the right in my cart. And you know, guys, what I did forget? I forgot to put the lock washer. Let me grab it. It's always good to pay attention and remember, because if it's there for a reason, right? I noticed that the windshield wiper tried to move a little bit, so that's why I'm being very careful when I'm holding it. And I will, like always, test it before I move it to make sure that it doesn't, that they're positioned correctly where they need to be. Okay, so this is done. I'm not going to be touching the outside anymore. And I'm hurrying up a little bit because my other customer is already here, so let me put this away really quick. And this worked on the inside really fast, and we'll be done. Alright, so I'm going to go from the passenger side. Okay, so you always want to clean here before you put the sensor back. Line it. Be careful not to touch anything. You can mess up the gel. Lock it in place. And condensation sensor. Remember how it went, like all the cables, and also I'm gonna this one's just sitting here. This one came up here and it went through here, and now this is for the mirror. put the mirror back on. These mirrors, just put it flat against the back so that when you turn, it doesn't come undone. That is very important. All right, so cover back on. This one has like a two-piece cover. So if you don't know, just test it out here and see how it's going to go before you put it in. Sometimes it's easier to put them in before that we have an idea how it's going to go. Sometimes on some Volvos, you don't have a lot of space to put it in, and it's better to put it in before you put the lower cover on. Like how I don't like to force things, so trying to see why it's not going in. Everything's where it's supposed to be. Maybe this little one goes here. There you go. Line this up on both sides. And there it is. All right, so I'm gonna do all my testing right now, and that's it, guys. So there is Alfa Romeo Giulia, and let me check out really quick the new Facebook group that I was talking to you guys about, and you guys could be a part of it. I'm going to put a link into it. So it is called Auto Glass Techniques and Safety Tips for Ethical Technicians. So I'm going to put a link to it, so if you guys want to join, it's going to be helpful, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks everyone for their support. God bless. Alfredo from Alfredo's Auto Glass here in Corona, California, Temesco Valley. God bless.